Today we're looking at one of the gaming edition graphic cards from MSI, the N660 Twin Frozer. Now this one here is a GeForce GTX 660, comes pre-overclocked out of the factory right from MSI with different gaming modes, of course, different overclocked and clock speeds. Here are the boost clocks in case you're wondering, but this is a serious gaming card for serious gamers. So if you're looking for something that the most important thing for you is frames per second, you're looking for a fast card that can deliver on high resolutions, this one is going to do really well. 28 nanometer architecture on this one, 960 CUDA cores, 2 gigs of GDDR5 memory. We're talking about high quality capacitors and construction, so it's meant to last. And you can switch overclocking modes again with the gaming app, which we're going to look at in a second. I even overclocked it further using the MSI Afterburner. In the box, VGA to DVI adapter, and the 6-pin to Molex adapter. That's pretty much it. Manual drivers. Looking at the card, she is a beauty. I gotta tell you, I love the Twin Frozer cards. They're one of my favorite cards. I love the fans. They're super quiet. They cool down like you wouldn't believe. Of course, it's not just the fans. We're talking about the heatsink that's sandwiched in between this, and the construction is really nice. So MSI, their Twin Frozer has been one of the leading industry examples on how you should make a graphic card. So there it is, sandwiched in between the logo and that back plate. You can see inside, and that really shows a lot because they spend a lot of time in designing these things to make sure that you can get the most out of that card. Now remember, one 6-pin power connector, you're good to go. 500-watt power supply, you're good to go. You can see that they also include these caps to protect all the different slots, plugs, everything, all the ports. That's something that shows you. There's the nickel-plated copper heat pipe, okay, that's going within that heat sink over there. Air is coming in, so the cool air coming in from the front of the case is going to be coming right into those fins, and of course the fan and the heat pipe is going to do its work there to cool this off. On the output side, okay, so display port, HDMI port, 2 DVIs. That's pretty much it. Let's take out these caps so you can take a look and see exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, so there's the HDMI, there's the display port out, and of course the 2 DVI outs. Okay, but I love these super pipes. The transfer heat is twice as fast as a regular heat pipe. I mean, I gotta tell you, they did a great job in deflecting that airflow coming in through there. So that's enough said. I can't really tell you anything else about the card when we just look at it. Let's just put it to the test. Now in Windows 8 here, Intel Core i7, 4.7 gigahertz on an Asus Republic of Gamers board with 16 gigs of awesome RAM running at top speed. As you can see right there, here are the specs in GPU Z, as you can see there. 192-bit bus width on that sucker, and of course we're running it in gaming mode right now, which is the default out of the box. Now looking temperatures, there they are, 31 degrees Celsius, anywhere from 58 to 67 depending on how much you overclock and you boost it. Here is the power draw in watts, if you're wondering about that as well. Overclocking, be warned if you can overclock on your own instead of using the MSI gaming app. If I use the Afterburner, the MSI Afterburner, these are the results that I got, okay, on the GPU core clock and the boost, okay, and I got pretty decent results. You're going to see that in a second here when I show you some of the benchmarks. But let's talk about the MSI gaming app, which has a couple of different modes, the overclock mode, the gaming mode, which is a default, and the silent mode. And that's really to save power, if you're running things on the basic and you don't want to stress the card. But I mean, I would just run the card on overclocking mode all the time. No problems there if you ask me. But that's up to you. Everybody, has their own purpose and what they want to do with this. But the gaming app is a lightweight, easy to use overclocking tool, and you can tweak and do things between each predefined base clock and boost clock and meet different play scenarios for that. Now, synthetic benchmarks. We're looking at 3D Mark Vantage. GPU scores is the only thing I'm looking at here, comparing it again to other cards when we're having it on different modes, and also on 3D Mark 11, the performance score 7054. Here it is compared to other cards again, using it on gaming mode, okay? And 3D Mark, if you're interested on the Firestrike scores, here's the default. And of course, here is the Firestrike Extreme score, okay? Because people like to see both. And on Cinebench, interesting enough, 62.60 frames per second, which meant that it matched the GeForce GTX 660 Ti, which I actually tested on the same machine. So no real difference there between the 660 Ti that I reviewed not too long ago. So this card actually did very well from MSI. Now, looking at games, of course, everything is always running on ultra high, very high, or high settings. We're not going to run things on low or medium. When you buy a card like this, you expect serious business, and this is what you're getting on different games. Of course, I'm running it on high resolution. Of course, I'm trying it on 3 monitors for that surround view, okay? And, well, here it is on ultra, okay, on 1080p. And now here it is on high, okay? And then, of course, here it is on the surround view. Okay, so those are the frames per second that we're getting with Tomb Raider. Lara Croft looking good as always. And here, Crysis 3. Crysis 3 really puts a lot of stress on every graphics card that I've ever tested. And here it is again, running it on high settings. You can see how much it pushes this card to really deliver. Battlefield 3, not as much. The Frostbite engine is not as demanding, and you can see here how it performs again on these 2 different resolutions. New game, Sleeping Dogs. Check it out. Very nice. If you're into some martial arts and some kicking, slapping, banging, well, there you go. Those are the frames per second that we're getting on that as well. Excellent performance, not bad at all. Right now on Newegg.com, I saw this card go for around $200 if you're looking for something in that price range. This is definitely a card that I recommend, and I'd like to thank MSI for providing it. Hope you enjoyed this video, and thank you for watching.